Hey, Ben Anderson from Vanguard Chiropractic. I'm glad that you're watching this because this is important. This foot pain that we're going to be talking about, bunions or hallux valgus, is a very common and painful problem. And the problem with it is that it tends to persist. People have this and it goes on and it goes on and goes on. They think they can't do anything about it. They think that surgery is the only solution, and that's not correct. But here's the deal. As that toe changes, as it's been forced in by vectored force, being pushed in, and the bone gets big because it's following Wolff's law, which states that any vectored force, any force on a bone that pulls it in any direction, it grows in that direction. That's why bones have all those funny bumps and knots and nodules on them. It's because something's pulling on that, usually a tendon. In this case, something's pushing that big toe in. Almost always tight shoes. This is why we see it more in women. This is why we see it more in women that wear high heels, because they're tall and they're tight at the front, and it pushes that in, and it's being pushed down, forced in, and that big toe will slowly start to move in. Why this is a problem is it makes the big toe move wrong. If it sits wrong, it moves wrong. So there's a muscle called adductor hallucis brevis, and it's on the inside. Adductor means it pulls in. Hallucis refers to the big toe, and brevis means it's short. They usually make the distinction in brevis and longus when there's two muscles that do the same thing. This is the short one. It's just in the foot. And first that will go because it's being stretched out and it's being abused, and it'll stop working, which means you can't pull your toe out like you could anymore. Over time, as the toe continues to degenerate, that bunion gets bigger, the toe moves in further, it will break down even more, and the more of those muscles will continue to break down, which means foot biomechanics in general break down. More muscles start to dysfunction. This leads into other foot pains like plantar fasciitis. It leads into ankle pain, knee pain. It can go all the way up to the hip because it's the way that you walk. It's gait. It's the way that we move, so it affects everything. So these biomechanics break down, and it's not usually traumatic. Something terrible doesn't usually happen to the foot. It's slow over time, and it's not usually genetic, although you do see it run in families quite a bit, but that's usually a predisposition. Not you have these genetics, you're going to get bunions, but you have the propensity to get it, and it happens because of lifestyle. What has to be done in these cases is you have to address it really specifically. You have to figure out which part of those biomechanics have broke down, facilitate those muscles, build them back up. This takes more than your most basic kind of therapies. You have to figure it out specifically and build them back up specifically. It takes hands-on work, and it takes home therapies that are specific for strength and stabilization. You do not have to live with this problem, and if these things apply to you and you are suffering with this, come into the clinic. Give us a call, 512-328-4041. Check out the website, vanguardchiropractic.com. And come on in, get an hour of my time for $75. It's half off the initial visit if you just mention that you saw us on the video. So I hope that you do find a solution for your problem, and I look forward to seeing you soon.